So maybe this one is sort of a cope. I'm not trying to glamorize disparity. I don't know, maybe I'm just looking for a silver lining to a rough situation. We all talk about wealth as a number. Like it's the difference between cheap cereal and the name brand. Like it's square footage and credit lines and countertops that look good on Instagram. But what if wealth isn't what we earn, but what we get to experience because we're still here? What if the richest people in the world aren't the ones with money to burn, but the ones with time? See, there are millionaires who wake up every day and go do shit they hate, just to pay for a life they never actually get to live. And then there are broke people who wake up every morning and get to decide what kind of day it's going to be. Not the bills, not the boss, not the fear, just them. I used to be the first kind, and now I'm the second. And even though the bank account looks uglier, the life finally makes sense. But before we get into this, please like, subscribe, don't be a poser. There's a poverty that looks like success from the outside. I had that kind. For 25 years, I was a tattooer. Names, memories, promises, regrets. Ink that meant something to them, while I slowly forgot what anything meant to me. People told me I was living the dream. Art for a living, cash in hand. A job that guaranteed stories and respect. But inside, I was evaporating. Every year I made more money and had less of myself to spend. The hours demanded their tribute. The appointments piled up like bricks. Every one another reminder that my time belonged to everyone but me. Birthdays blurred, sunsets unwatched, conversations got shorter, and my daughter grew up in the background of someone else's hustle. Success asked for everything. I paid it, and it still wanted more. It didn't collapse overnight. It frayed slowly, quietly, until the threads just wouldn't hold anymore. Call it burnout, call it self-destruction, call it a nervous system in total collapse. Whatever name you choose, the life I'd built to look impressive became unlivable. And here's the uncomfortable truth. A part of me knew it had to fall apart, because I wasn't trying to walk away from the edge. I was trying to jump off of it. Depression took the wheel for a while with addiction in the passenger seat, and then music changed to something darker. The whole season of my life was a storm I didn't want, but on some level I needed it. I didn't quit the life I had. It sort of quit me, and although it felt like I was failing, I realize now that I was finally refusing. Just refusing to sell my time for the illusion of safety. Refusing to sacrifice the present to protect a future I might not even survive to see. Refusing to keep being a responsible ghost haunting my own life. When everything collapsed, I was finally alone with myself. No clients, no money, no reputation. Just me, scared, broke, but still breathing. And that's when I understood something that rich people spend their lives avoiding. There are worse things than being broke. Being owned, being absent, being alive only during the hours you're not working. Money is convenient, but peace is essential. Freedom isn't a luxury. It's a necessity disguised as a risk. These days I don't have the income that used to act as a personality, and being broke didn't save me. It just stopped me from disappearing. Now when my daughter calls, I answer. I don't look at the clock. I'm hers for as long as she wants to talk. You can't put that on a tax return. Maybe that's what real wealth looks like. A moment you don't want to rush through. People say money buys freedom, and I think that's only true if you were free before you earned it. I wasn't. My bank account grew, but my world shrank. My schedule filled, but my life emptied. I spent so long chasing comfortable, I forgot what alive felt like. Now every dollar I don't earn is a minute I get back. A unit of existence returned to its rightful owner, me. I used to think being broke was humiliation. Now I think it's clarity. Not romantic, not heroic, just honest. You start asking the questions most people spend their lives dodging. What would I do if no one was watching? What actually matters when the noise dies down? Who am I without the grind? What do I want this one weird life to feel like? These are the questions that come free with a total financial and emotional meltdown. A lot of people look at my situation and see loss. I look at it and see space. Space to breathe, space to mess up, space to try something new, to feel something new, to live a life that isn't pre-approved by an algorithm. Some will call it a midlife crisis. Maybe it was, but at least it's mine. I used to be terrified of falling behind. Now I'm curious where everyone thinks they're racing to. There's no trophy for dying rich, no award for having the least fun, no monument built for the man who answered every email. Life isn't a ladder, it's a tightrope, and money can weigh you down so much you forget how to balance. So yeah, I'm broke, but I wake up alive, not numb, not sprinting, just living at a pace that lets me notice myself again. Some people see a life like mine and call it a mess. They're not wrong. But messes are where people actually live, not in a perfectly vacuumed hallway or polished LinkedIn profile. Life happens in the dirt, in the doubt, and the days you're questioning your entire existence while heating up leftovers. Being broke doesn't make me better than anyone. It just reminds me that being human was never supposed to be a performance. I spent half my life trading hours for money. Now I trade comfort for time, and that feels like a better investment. Because when the sun goes down and the silence comes back, and the only person you're accountable to is the one that's inside your own chest, they don't care how much you made today. They care whether you lived. So here I am, scarred, reassembled, still trying to figure it out. Broke, yes, but uninterested in being bought. If that means I have less than the version of me who checked all the boxes, that's totally fine. Because that version of me had money in his pocket and debt in his soul, and I don't want to go back. I want this calm, this uncertainty, this weird hope that keeps showing up even when logic says it shouldn't. This is wealth. Not the kind you can measure, but the kind you can feel. So, if you're out there rebuilding after everything collapsed, if you're broke but breathing and looking for something that makes sense again, you're not alone. You didn't fail. You escaped. Thanks again. This has been Slack Signal X.